Right, how are we going to start this?
Hello, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas all. This is the Christmas episode of Shouting Over Static, a video game show and tell project starring myself, Mark. Starring, yeah, because starring is a ridiculous term to use. This is a TV show.
I think starring counts.
Yeah.
You're the star of this show.
oh, that was really sweet. Who just gave me that wonderful compliment?
It was me, Dylan. Hello.
Hello, Dylan. Also laughing in the background is Chaw and Jack. Hey boys, how's it going?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, not too bad, mate. Happy Christmas, everyone. I hope you guys all had a good Christmas with your families.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to all. I had a really bizarre Christmas, actually.
Really?
It was great. None of my brothers were here, and Mum and Dad didn't fancy doing a huge amount, so we ended up just watching a lot of Star Trek and had lasagna.
That sounds like a great time.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and me and Dad smashed through like a crate of Budweiser. It was a good day.
Nice.
Nice.
How's everyone else's Christmases been?
I watched a lot of Netflix.
Lots of travelling. Oh.
Hold on, Dylan goes first, and then we'll move round in turn.
Damn it, Chaw.
Sorry.
It was lots of travelling. Seeing both parents takes a lot of effort sometimes.
Yeah, I bet.
No, it was pretty fun. I had a good time. Saw my grandparents.
Aww.
The usual Christmas cheer.
What about you, Chaw?
I sat around and watched lots of Netflix because nobody was around in my house. That was a good time.
Dude.
That sounds sad. At least Mark had his parents there.
No, I mean, I had my friends over like a few days prior to Christmas, but other than that...
A few days prior to Christmas isn't Christmas, it's a few days prior to Christmas.
Christmas Eve.
That's in the name.
Nobody asked you how your 23rd of December was. Nobody cares.
Oh, Christmas is the whole period of time. It's not just one day.
Christmas is the 25th until the 5th of January.
Nah. That's just where all the shit goes down, you know? But you gotta have a buffer of a few days prior to and after.
The Christmas buffer.
Yeah.
When considering Christmas-related questions, always consider the Christmas buffer.
It's important.
What about you, Jack? How's your Christmas been?
Yeah, it's been alright, mate. It's been not too bad. Get to see my family again. Have everyone came around to my place, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, just drunk a lot, ate a lot.
It's a good way to live.
Yeah, it is.
So,
I guess it's Christmas, right?
So the point of this show isn't actually to just talk to each other about our Christmases, because that would make it pretty irrelevant most of the year. The point of it usually is to discuss a singular video game, but we thought, because it's Christmas, and everyone's feeling Christmassy, we'd discuss what we're playing at Christmas time, or possibly even what we've played this year that we think's of note.
I guess it's almost our end of year. I mean, it is our end of year podcast, isn't it? It's the last one we'll do 2017.
This is very true. It's the last one in which I will write 2017 into the year box in the Audacity details thing.
Next year, I'm just going to write like donuts or something.
I really appreciate that.
8 is like basically 2 donuts, right?
Yes.
In a funny tower.
Yeah.
Excellent. Has anybody played anything good this year? No.
I've stuck with my usual my usual thing of space shooters. But I did grow on my space shooter. I'm now less jumpy and more grindy.
Yeah, you got a new space shooter. 2015 was the year of Halo, then 2016 was the year of... I say that that's kind of... Because they came at the end of the year, it's kind of displaced. So in reality, it was
so like
most
2015 through 2016,
yeah.
Halo. 2016 through 2017, Titanfall 2. And now it's Destiny 2.
Yeah, have you even played any other video games this year? Apart from like Trackmania?
No, I have, because I always get the Xbox games with gold, so like I played through I've played through all of those little things, bits and bobs. So I played Bayonetta for the first time.
That's a sweet video game.
Which is completely
I also played through that for the first time this year. On the Wii U.
It is a fun game.
Yeah.
And completely mad. It was my 3rd highest played game of the year after Titanfall 2, then Destiny 2, then Bayonetta.
Yeah, it's surprisingly long, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think I ended up finishing it. I got pretty far, but I don't think I quite finished it.
That boss fight at the end, where the woman becomes huge and then you run over her body, it's pretty weird, isn't it?
I definitely didn't finish it then.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, the boss fight at the end is fucking nuts.
All of the boss fights so far have been nuts. It's just a bunch of crazy faces.
Yeah, that...
And
There's a
weird
point
manipulations.
later on where you fought so many of those big, crazy-faced dragon things that they just start throwing them out as, like, casual enemies.
God, really?
Yeah. You end up fighting, like,
Yeah,
two
that's-
at once.
Oh yeah, I've fought 2 at once at this point, I think. But yeah. So Bayonetta I played.
That's
and,
a hot
I did,
2010 game.
yeah. But, it's not multiplayer. It doesn't matter when you play it, right?
Yeah, probably.
I also played Shadow of Mordor, not Shadow of War, not the one that actually came out this year. I played the first one.
My understanding is Shadow of Mordor is a lot better anyway. I enjoy Shadow
really?
of Mordor quite a lot, and Shadow of War got shit on.
With loot boxes, yeah.
Apparently the back half of it's just a really awful grind as well.
Yeah, I remember, I think we said about this when it was sort of coming out, didn't we? It was that it could be great, but then the last, like, you get to a point where it's literally just you have to grind to be able to do it, or you pay for the end.
And it's a single
Which is
player
just
game as well,
absurd.
right? With loot boxes.
Yeah.
Which
That's horrible.
makes it completely mad. You shouldn't have loot boxes in single-player games.
No.
But the first one, brilliant.
Rad.
Shadow of Mordor is great fun. It was like a free-to-play weekend, and I just finished it.
Yeah, it's a well fun game. It's thoroughly enjoyable. Just getting involved in orc politics is it's a lot of fun.
I do enjoy branding war chiefs.
Yeah, and so you end up just like owning an entire orc hierarchy.
Although I did find spoilers for the end. I guess I did. It's not. I'm not going to go super spoilery, but I did find the end because you go through branding war chiefs.
Yeah.
And then you get to the point where it's like, my orcs are going to fight your orcs. And you've got 7 orcs. They don't bring their armies with them. The war chiefs just come themselves. And it's like, well, I could have just got any orc.
Yeah.
What was the point? And I find that a little bit anticlimactic. Because it's just like, well, okay.
Because then you just fight like 5 really hardcore orcs at the end, and then have a quick time event,
Yeah.
which was
The first Black Hand boss was quite fun.
was an actual boss
then-
fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then the second 2 are just, well, the second one is just like Assassin's Creeding 7 times.
But like
And then the
really
last one.
easy Assassin's Creed as well.
Yeah, really, really easy. Like, he doesn't even try to stop you.
Wait, what's Assassin's Creeding?
Like, you stalk around and jump on a dude.
You literally just climb around in the rafters and then press square to do an aerial assassination, and then run away and do it again.
Yeah.
Alright, I get it.
So yeah, the ending of that game is pretty disappointing, but that is a fun game overall. So, I had my extremely relevant 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one 2016 game, one 2017 game, a 2010 game, and a 2014 game.
Yeah, boy. I played some Rayman as well. I played Rayman 3D from, 2007.
Fucking hell. Hoodlum Havoc.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of Rayman 2, The Great Escape.
Rayman all round is just great. I've been playing, so I also have Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends, but I've had them for a while. And
They're the
They're just good
really
games.
beautiful, Maso core platformers, right?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
tried to play Rayman Origins, on different computers, but together, right? But we couldn't get it to work. I don't think it even has that function, but that's something we should...
I don't remember this. That sounds like a silly thing to do. Did you just open Rayman and look for multiplayer for a bit and then realise it wasn't
Yeah,
there?
I think so. It was back in Heron, but yeah. I think that was exactly what
I don't
happened.
remember this.
Alright then, Shaw.
I-
What have you played this year that you thought was noteworthy?
I haven't had a lot of time to play video games, to be honest. I've just played, Witcher 3, just keep going through that. Okay.
Did I finish Witcher 3 this year? No, I finished
you
Witcher.
did, didn't you,
No, I
last
think
year?
didn't I finish it Christmas of 2016?
Yeah,
I think you
yeah,
finished
yeah.
it last year.
After playing it
That's one-
non-stop for about 18 months.
which you like completely 100%ed, right? That was
Yeah.
bad.
I'm a sad and lonely man.
I did play Uncharted 4. That was a new game, I think. Very recent.
I played that this year, I think. I got it for Christmas
But that-
last year, so I played that this
yeah,
year.
that came out last year as well.
But that's
Yeah.
like the most recent game I've played, I'd say.
What did you think of Uncharted 4, Joel?
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it?
Yeah. It was like Uncharted 2 levels of amazing. And that was probably one of the best games like on the PS3. Yeah, that's the one.
That's a real bold level to judge your game at, because people who liked Uncharted 2 probably will have played Uncharted 4. So it's about as good as this game that you've also probably played. It's like, no,
But I think
I need to know.
Uncharted 2 is also, I think, understood as like the best one of those PS3 3. Like, it's the one that won a bunch of like Game of the Year awards and
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah.
So I sort of see what you're going for.
Well,
Because also,
How would you compare it to other games? It's a platformer with shooty shoots. That's it, right? With some really good story.
Is it Crash Bandicoot with guns?
there is actually, you do actually play Crash Bandicoot in it.
Yeah. Which
Which
I
is
wasn't
pretty
very
great.
good at.
Because Crash Bandicoot's really hard.
Yeah, you can only use the D-pad, right? And that was really difficult, as it turns out. Analog sticks are, a great invention.
Yeah, dude. They're sweet.
Yeah. Depends on the game, though. Don't really need analog sticks for Snake.
No, I never will.
Imagine if you did, though.
You can go in many
Fully
directions.
analog Snake.
I think there is a version of Snake that isn't like grid based, so you can it just roams around.
It sounds
But I
incredibly
can't-
difficult.
Yeah, because like it'll get to a point where what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
I guess it's easier to be systematic about a grid than just free
Yeah.
space.
That's the benefit of grids.
Shout out to Grid.
Yeah, so is that it, Jordan, this year? You've played Uncharted 4, which is a sweet game, and Witcher 3, which is also a sweet game, to be
I
fair.
played quite a lot of Kerbal Space Program as well, but I guess you can't really call it a game that came out in X year because they just keep making new things for it.
You can barely call it a game. It's more like a job.
Actually, I did
Educational
start
tool.
playing it to use it as a presentation piece, like in my MSE, but yeah, I don't think I can call it a game anymore. At that point.
You literally used it for a space engineering degree.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice. That's awesome.
Well, it's glad to see that we're staying particularly relevant in the gaming world.
I don't think I've played any
All right, then.
17 games at all.
You're missing out. They released a bunch of really good ones. I'll go last, because I've actually played a shit ton of games this
Alright,
year
cool.
that came out this year. So,
I think that's it for me. So, Jack.
Jack, what have you played anything good this year? Have you played any games that you thought, God damn, 2017, what a year?
Well, probably the one that sticks out for me is just got to be Super Mario Odyssey on the Switch. I bought
Yes.
myself a Switch, and you told me so many good things about it, and honestly, it was such an awesome experience. Like, to see Mario in like that sort of environment was just absolutely awesome, and it looked stunning on the Switch as well.
Yeah, it's rad. It's a really cool game.
Yeah, I mean, apart from that, I got Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Switch for Christmas.
That's
So
bold.
I've been playing a bunch of that, and it's alright. Like it's an okay game for what it is.
I never pegged you as a big JRPG guy.
Well, I mean, I've sort of been into Final Fantasies. Like, I was into the OG Final Fantasy VII, all of those kind of games. But like the more recent Final Fantasies, I haven't really been too much of a fan of. And then I saw this, and I thought, I'll give it a shot, and it's actually kind of okay.
Have you got that blade that is just a woman with preposterously huge breasts yet?
Yeah, that's the that's like you get that fairly like easily, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's you can pick up different blades as well. Like I picked up this dude who's just literally his swords are just like spikes on his fist, and so you just go around punching everyone up, which is pretty awesome.
It's the most anime video. I've watched like a couple of hours of gameplay of it, and it's so fucking anime.
Yeah.
Like, isn't everything the entire game's played on the backs of big dragons or something stupid?
Yeah, basically they call them Titans, and they're like they were born on this giant tree, and it's like this whole thing where Titans are dying out and becoming extinct, and like you start off with your like basic companion is this giant dragon beast thing, whatever you want to call it.
Ridiculous.
Sounds absurd.
Yeah.
Have you been enjoying it then?
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like you said, I mean, like I was a fan of JRPGs back in the day, and then I sort of lost my love with them. And this one sort of like I saw it and I was like, I don't know if it'll be any good, but if it's that sort of style of game, I'll give it a shot. And yeah, I mean, it's not disappointing me at the moment. As
And
I said,
hey, you can
fairly
play it on
early
the
in
Switch,
game,
so
yeah. But I mean, like, what else have I been playing? I'm trying to think.
You played
FIFA.
all those absurd Crackerjack games.
Yeah, I did. Fucking, what was it Shark Dating Simulator? That was an experience.
that's game of the year, right?
I mean, I keep checking on Steam, and this guy put up a post, like the developer of it, put up a post in like September saying, "Oh yeah, here's like another update," and then he said, "Don't worry, guys, I'll give you some more stuff soon." And it's been like 3 months, and he hasn't given us anything, so I don't know what's going on with it.
Motherfucker.
Can't believe he'd lie to us like that.
He's stiffed everyone. He's stiffed you for your money.
Yeah, man.
He's got all those 99p's out of everyone who bought it. And now he's not even going to give you the update that puts boobs in it.
God damn, man. Some people, I swear.
Doesn't it already have boobs in it?
Oh yeah, no, but like he wanted to add more boobs.
More sharks.
Boobs on boobs.
Oh, but yeah,
So
I'm trying to
funny.
think back to like the start of 2017 if there was anything that came out fairly early on that I played. But I can't quite remember. I mean, like you've got the usual suspects of like Call of Duty being released and then FIFA and stuff like that. But I'm trying to think if there's not like any sort of annual release game that I haven't played this year. I mean, Destiny. Yeah, I played a bunch of Destiny.
There was
Destiny 2 is pretty good.
Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah, but we're boycotting Battlefront 2, Joe.
Yeah,
That's right.
I haven't
I'm
even
not
played
boycotting it, I
Battlefront 2.
just don't really want to get it.
Yeah, I haven't played
I
it.
also just don't want to get it. I feel like it adds to the message if you sort of pretend you're boycotting it, because it's done really badly.
Yeah.
And I think that's good.
Yeah, EA have had to post noticeably less than expected earnings for this quarter, haven't they?
Yeah. Because, like, Reddit succeeded in making Battlefront undesirable.
They just shit all over Battlefront so bad that no one bought it.
Yeah, it's remarkable, really.
Go on,
I
Jack.
never
This
think
is.
Reddit has that much influence. Sorry, yeah.
I was just going to say, go on, Jack. This is your moment. Give us your review a month and a half down the line of what is Call of Duty World War II all about.
For someone who hasn't touched it in about like 3 weeks, 4 weeks at least.
It's only
I don't
been out
know,
for
I
like
mean-
6 weeks, Jack.
Yeah, I was very into it. Like I played the story mode and like in a few days, and it was like, oh, this is great. Obviously, like I'm pretty sure we all still have our sort of qualms about the name and actually calling it World War II. But you know, I mean, it's good, and I mean, people seem to like it. People seem to be playing it a lot. I keep getting like random notifications on my YouTube being like, oh yeah, check this out. Look, this guy's uploaded a new Call of Duty video, and I'm just like, at this moment in time, I don't really care. Like I admire what they were doing with it. I like the fact that they tried to have like the headquarters thing in it, but at the end of the day, the headquarters, from my knowledge, it still isn't fixed at the moment.
They've changed it now.
Like I say, mate, I haven't touched the game in quite a few weeks, so I wouldn't know. But you know, they bring us all of this promise about having this sort of home base where you can like mingle with random people online, and then when it launches, it's like actually we can't do that because our servers are just not that great, and we didn't do stuff in our fucking programming. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably give it a shot over the next coming days of my holiday, and then see if it has changed. But yeah, like I said, I played it for the campaign, and the campaign was decent, so there's not really much more I can say for it.
Yeah, they've done a recent this like Winter Siege event.
Yeah, I
which
saw
means
that.
they've changed there's like an extra free map, and they've changed the headquarters thing, which
Oh,
is a
really?
very Destiny thing to do. So I think with the headquarters and then now this, they're having these big seasonal events that really quite change the game.
Yeah.
I think that
Alright.
influence is coming through quite clearly now.
Yeah, I tell you what has changed. I haven't really played a lot this year. Is Gwent? So like Gwent
Yeah,
released. They just released their like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. They released their like winter update, their midwinter update, and they had added like 100 more cards to the whole of the collection. And they've changed like the UI. They've changed everything about it. And it just like for someone who was in closed beta for quite some time, it's just like, wow, this isn't Gwent. This has changed. Like as much as I love it, I still haven't got back into it. Like,
How different is it now? Like if I went, because I haven't played since the beta.
Yeah.
If I went and played it now, would it just be like, hot damn, what is this?
Well, not really. I mean, it's the same generic concept of how Gwent works, but I think like most of the cars now, if not all of them, are like you can put them on any row that you want. So there's no sort of row locking to it now. It's just play this card on this row, and then instead of saying like because there are cards with effects now which are just like damage a random enemy on the opposite row. So it's not sort of row locked at the moment. From my
I don't know how I feel about that.
I hopped on it the other day and I was like, wow, this has changed. I mean, they've added in like a single player event at the moment, which you just go through with like a base deck that they just give you, and it's like sort of you're fighting. I can't remember what his name is. You're fighting one of these Skellige captains, and like you go through like a story like that. And it's about saving a phoenix and stuff, and then right at the end, like the guy that you were helping. The Skellige dude that you were helping turns on you to try and kill the Phoenix, and you have to try and protect the Phoenix. And I like where they're going with it. They haven't said much about the single player yet. That's probably still very much in development. But like I said, I don't know. It just feels like I had my fun with it during closed beta because it was all new and it was all brilliant. And then when it comes to like once people know about it, the whole of like the top of the leaderboards is just like the same people playing the same decks, and it's like I want to be unique. Like, I want to be unique in Gwent, and I don't want to have to play what everyone else is playing to be competitive. And it just, I don't know, it's just sort of died out on me. But like I said, I try to go back to it from time to time, but yeah.
So is it officially out now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still in its open beta sort of stage, but they keep applying updates to it, and it's got its own like esports series as well. And so I pretty much say that it is as a full thing at the moment. But yeah,
but the single player isn't out yet, so it's not a full game yet.
Yeah, well, it's like they're still working on the single player, but
so it's
again,
it's still an open beta. So that it was in closed beta for ages, but it started getting easier and easier to get closed beta access codes.
Yeah,
and then
And
they
now
just
it's
went full
open
open
beta.
beta.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just public beta now.
So you can just get it.
So how does the story mode
But-
work? Well, it's not. It's not completely out yet, is it? But some of it is out.
They've
No,
not really
no.
said anything yet, have they? It's going to be isometric.
yeah.
I heard that. They had an interview with someone. They were like, "Yeah, it's going to be an isometric thing where you like stroll around the wilderness and you just like solve crimes by playing cards."
That's how it's.
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
just going to be like Pokemon, but with Gwent.
Yeah,
Yeah, basically. Which is kind of actually how I played a lot of The Witcher 3 in the first place.
Yeah. If there's an
And Pokemon with Gwent.
if there's an option to resolve the situation with Gwent, I'm down. I'm down every time.
Yeah,
there's
there's
a
that
couple
mod
of
for the PC version, isn't there?
There is.
Oh yeah.
Where you can every single like fight encounter, you can just do as Gwent, even if it's like against some animals.
Yeah, it replaces all combat with Gwent, so the moment you hit something with your sword, it loads into the Gwent interface, and then when you win the game of Gwent, it loads out of it and all the enemies die.
It's just so good.
Which, yeah, it's kind of brilliant, actually.
How do they do the deck? I don't know if you know it particularly well, but do you know how they do the decks and stuff in that? Is it just randomized or
in the single player.
no? In the stupid mod.
I would probably guess they assign them based on race. So, like, if you're fighting an animal, it plays a beast deck or
Monster
whatever the
deck,
hell
yeah.
it is, or monster deck. And if you're fighting a whatever, if you're fighting a dude from Nilfgaard who play a Nilfgaard deck or something, I don't know. I've only seen like stupid YouTube videos of guys hitting like wolves, and then it loads into a game of Gwent, and then he beats the game of Gwent, and then the wolves die. And I thought that was pretty funny, but I don't know much more about it because that might be too much Gwent, if I'm honest.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I like Gwent as much as the next guy, but that would be thousands of games of Gwent.
A little bit too much.
This is just a smidge too much Gwent. I wonder if they'd fold in the Skellige deck from Blood and Wine.
Hmm.
Probably.
Looking forward to that.
Well, so 3 out of 4 of us here, which is I think possibly the highest number of any of us to have played one game this year, have played Destiny 2.
Yeah.
I believe Chor said he's getting Destiny 2 as well, to me the other day.
Yeah, I might be getting
it on the PC?
Yeah, with a 1080.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, boy.
Oh my gosh. Man.
Sweet. You say might be. What's up in the air about that deal?
Well, I've got to do my research and get the right card, but yeah, it will be happening. It's not a might be, it will be happening.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Because you're still using like a 670 or something, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a 680 I got for real cheap from a friend. But yeah, it's a really old card now, and it's kind of terrible.
Oh, mate. Gotta live that 1080 life. That's good. Because you've got 1440p monitor as well, haven't you?
Yeah. I've got 2K, 2 of them, but I've only used it for one of them for gaming. So I need more graphical power basically to get at least 30 FPS. I don't really care about 60. So I want all the prettiness, not a lot of frame rate.
I mean, you're wrong, but that's fine.
I think that higher frame rates only matters for certain
Yeah,
games,
exactly.
to be fair.
For the kind of games
I
I've
think
played, don't care.
I think a stable frame rate is more important. So, like, I will always pick locked 30 over like a variable 60.
Yeah,
But I also
Yeah.
think that it's considering there are games running at 60 frames a second on the goddamn PlayStation 2. Games should run at 60 frames a second.
Yeah.
60 frames a second looks good and feels nice and tight and smooth.
it does.
And
it does.
I'm a big proponent of a consistent 60 frames a second. But also, yeah, I'm not one of those lunatics who's like, it's got to be 60 and will fuck around with everything just to get it there. I'd much rather have a stable 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
definitely.
for shooting games and racing games, definitely 60. I need that. But for hack and slash, story based kind of games, 30 FPS is okay.
Yeah, totally.
Which people are a little bit annoyed about Destiny, at least on the consoles. I don't know what it's like on the PC, but it's only 30 FPS on the consoles. And
I think on the PC it's unlocked. Like if you've got one of those G-Sync monitors that will go up to like 150 frames a second, like a hertz, whatever the fuck, it'll just do it.
144.
what now?
Yeah,
It's too much.
yeah, man. I was looking at getting one of those because there was a sweet deal on Amazon, and I didn't.
Do it. It's not late. Then we can play together.
Well,
Mark.
this is it, isn't it? This is the ridiculous thing is now. It's like, well, I can make rent, and then I've just got all this. Yeah, well, whatever. More money than sense at the moment. I need to.
Who needs food?
I need to
We
save.
could just have 1080s for everyone.
Like, Katie, eat all these pixels for dinner.
But have either of you guys played The Dawning on Destiny yet, or are you both away from consoles?
No,
I
yeah,
haven't
played
turned
it.
on Destiny 2 in probably 6 weeks.
So you've not played Osiris either?
No. I played
So-
for about... Oh, yeah. So what day... When did it come out? It was early October, wasn't it?
What, Destiny as a whole? Yeah.
Yeah, Destiny 2. So it was, yeah. So I played for about a month, non-stop, and then haven't touched it since. And I'm fairly certain I won't at this point.
They've added a lot of the things that you were annoyed about.
Oh, yeah?
Like they've added actual grind into it rather than just doing the specific tasks to get the powerful engram and then go.
Oh.
There's more of a grind to it now. So they've introduced the masterwork weapons, which are the legendary weapons now have a chance of dropping as a masterwork weapon, which gives it a random perk and also rerollable extra stats. So it changes. It means that not all weapons are the same for these masterwork ones, which I think is good.
So they're making legendary weapons, drops worthwhile, effectively.
Yeah. So not all legendary weapons will drop as a masterwork,
Yeah.
but some will. And also, once you get to a point, you can make your legendary weapons into a masterwork weapon.
Oh. Weird.
So they've added that, and then they've also added the Weapon Forge, which is part of the whole Osiris thing. And it's essentially you just do specific tasks for. So you get this thing called a verse from one of the new guys, and you have to get certain pickups that will just drop basically from any event, and you get enough, and you can forge your own new weapon, and they tend to be quite good weapons. And I got a masterwork from my first one. But then once you've done all of them, you can get a special item and stuff like that. So there is a little bit more of a grind to it now, and I think, especially since this was the first update, they'll have been making this before everyone came out being like, this isn't as good as Destiny 1, what are you doing? I think the next update is likely to be, they'll just change a lot of the stuff back, because they've already started changing a lot of the stuff back, like the vendors they've fixed, or at least attempted to.
No.
And a lot of the stuff they've started changing back to how it works in Destiny 1, so I think they're gonna, in the next update, change. At least they should. If they don't, then they'll lose all of their players.
Yeah.
I
mean, I guess
think they're gonna change it.
I guess it's good that they're actually like listening to their feedback, and like the audience has been like, wait a minute, this isn't like nearly as good as Destiny 1, what were you playing at? I guess it's like a good thing that they're actually listening.
Well, I guess it's it's not even that it's nearly as... Because my understanding is actually, at launch, Destiny 1 was even more fucked than Destiny 2 is. Except for by the time they got done with Destiny 1, it was noticeably better, and this is just such a massive step back. I think people seem to be just kind of disappointed. I don't know, I never played Destiny 1, and I really, really, really enjoyed playing Destiny 2, and I thought it felt great, and then I'd stopped playing it for a bit, because I sort of reached a point where I was like, okay, well, I'm at 285, and I'm pretty happy with the gear I've got, and then, then I had to sort of wait for more content to come out, and then I heard that content was like 2 hours of story missions, and some new extra content that didn't even seem that new or extra, and was like, I'm actually just going to play some other games this year that I haven't played yet.
Yeah, it's probably worth it. I mean, the new weapons and stuff seem to just be reskins, other than a few of them, which is disappointing. I think waiting until the next update, when you'll probably be able to get both of them for the same price.
Oh, certainly.
Is probably worth it if you're not going to play it if you want to even play it anymore. But I still have because like you say, it's one of those games that's really fun to play. So I do like just picking it up occasionally and playing it.
It does. Yeah, it does play incredibly well, and I guess you've got someone to play with too, which helps, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
I think it adds a lot to it. But they've got a thing going on called the Dawning at the moment, which is this like winter thing that they do.
Christmas event, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. So there's like special armor sets and stuff like that, but also they've got this thing going on called Mayhem Clash, which is just Clash, but your super regenerates every 15 seconds.
That sounds.
And apparently, it's really fun.
It's a bit because I guess it was like Curse of Osiris came out and it had that weapon in it that was bugged, the Prometheus lens, or whatever it was, and everyone was like, "This is as much as this is totally bugged. This is also the most fun I've had playing this game since it came out, because everyone's just like running around doing really mental shit, and it seems really fun and like overpowered."
The Prometheus lens is great fun, yeah. But I like the fact that the way they fixed that was they just made it the Xur weapon.
Yeah, I just gave everyone one. And I think they did end up actually fixing it.
Yeah, it doesn't kill it. Like, I've used it in Clash, and it doesn't kill people in whatever, less than a second anymore. But
that was, I think just giving it to everyone was such an excellent solution to that problem.
Yeah, it is a really fun weapon to use. I think it's better for PvE than PvP now. But yeah, there's some stuff they've added that is quite fun and things, but it was a bit disappointing as a whole addition to this game.
Yeah, I think I really like the idea of Destiny 2, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it, but it's just I'm moving through other games, man.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think a lot of people, apparently Destiny 1's been getting a bit of a resurgence because people on like the Destiny subreddits or whatever have been complaining about Destiny 2 not being as good as Destiny 1. So all these people who haven't played Destiny 1 are like, well, maybe I should give it a go. And have gone back and been like, oh, damn, this is great.
Well, you can get Destiny 1, the complete collection for PlayStation 4 off Amazon for 17 quid.
Really?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I almost bought it and was just like, fuck it, I'll just play this instead, because I've heard that this is like that, but with more RPG shit in it that I thought sounded quite fun, and then was like, actually, I don't know. Maybe.
That's how you ruin your life, because it's one of those games that you can really fall into.
Yeah, it's like I've got like I'm trying to play through a couple of JRPGs at the moment, and it's a serious time sink. I don't really have the time to then also play all of Destiny 1.
Yeah. I think it'll just annoy you anyway with how little it makes sense. So.
Brilliant. What a bizarre franchise.
It really
Just the
is.
number 2.
What about you,
makes
Mark?
sense.
What about you, Mark? Have you played anything good this year? I imagine you saying that you've played quite a few games in 2017. You've got a lot to talk about.
I've played an absolute fuck ton of video games this year. Starting with a showstopper, the first 2017 game I played this year was The Legend of Zelda: The Breath of the Wild.
It's a pretty good one to start with.
Yeah, which I think, though flawed, every time I think about it, I've thought about it a lot the last few months, and even though I can't help but think about the flaws it has, it still kind of gives me a profound nostalgic feeling to when I first picked it up and started playing it, which is, that game is something else.
Nice.
Jack, now you've got a Switch, you should probably play Zelda, because
I should probably go and get it.
I'm shocked you haven't yet. Like, surely Zelda's the first thing you go for.
I mean, I got mine with Mario, and then I sunk quite a few hours into Mario, and I just like sort of never. I wouldn't say never found the time, but I was just like, I should probably wait until like I was actually waiting until payday, and I got paid, and then it's like all of like Christmas just happened at once, and I was just like, I don't really have time for like a Zelda, but I should probably go and get it.
Yeah.
It's a long game, for sure. You can easily lose like 100 hours into it.
Yeah.
Damn.
So what's so great about it? I just keep hearing how Zelda is really, really great, but I don't know what.
This is the thing, right? It does have a lot of problems, but there is such a profound sense of adventure to it that is just remarkable. Like the depth and yet also like equivalent simplicity of systematic and like systemic interactions within that game. It's just, I've never played a game like it. Like, you could be walking through a thunderstorm and then you get hit by lightning. So you go, well, why the fuck did I get hit by lightning? And then you realise you're wearing metal armour. So you take off your metal armour and then you don't get hit by lightning anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's just full of weird, like there was one point where, a lot of your actions are controlled by stamina. And so, like, swimming, you need a certain amount of stamina to swim. So I swam out to this island, and it had a shrine on it. And to get to the island, I had to eat quite a lot of consumables to get there, to get my stamina up.
Yeah.
And I didn't have enough consumables to swim back once I'd done the shrine. But next to the shrine was a couple of bushes. So I set the bushes on fire with a fire arrow, then jumped out of a tree and deployed my glider above the updraft from the heat from the bushes, and it launched me up in the air, and I glided over the water to the other side.
Right.
And that's just, and like, it's not like that's a mechanic, that's just, the game has given you tools and a world, and it never even says use updrafts from fire. I just went, well, fire's going to make an updraft, because that's how fire works. And it did. And I got across, and it's just full of little things like that, and it's just this huge world that's beautifully crafted. Every single inch of an absolutely massive open world feels handcrafted. Like, it feels designed impeccably, and yet it lets you just go into it and exist within it in such a naturalistic way that, like, even though I thought the Divine Beasts, like the 4 dungeons in it, were just so disappointing, I can't help but think about it. Like, I'm honestly, yesterday I was like, maybe I could get it for the Switch and play through it again on the Switch. I did it on the Wii U to start with, because it's so good.
That
like,
sounds pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Just being in that world is just remarkable. The sense of adventure and the fact that everything you do in it, Like, you could be walking along and, okay, well, I want to go over here because I can see in the distance there's a shrine there. And on the way, you see a couple of stones that are in a row, and then there appears to be one missing. So then you run around, you find a stone, you put the stone in the right place, and it just gives you a little reward for noticing a pattern in the world. And then you keep going ahead, and you find, like, a weird setting look of bushes. So you set the bushes on fire, and it reveals a tunnel that goes into another whole different shrine, and all this other stuff. And it's a huge world that is so dense with things to do, but not just like things to do like how The Witcher 3 was full of things to do, and it was either talk to someone and get a quest, or pick up some crap from a box. This is like adventuring stuff to do. Like, there must be easily 1,000 unique, bespoke puzzles in that world that the game never even tells you have to do. You just find them and solve them. And a lot of them may be just to do with, like, picking up fruit and putting the fruit in the right spot, or lining up some blocks in just the right position that you can fire an arrow through them and shit like that. But it's like, they might as well have just fucking called it adventure. Like, it has, I've never played a game with such a pure core of what it is to just have an adventure in a world and just explore and just look at shit.
Yeah.
It's rad. It's so good.
You sold me on it. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Man, I want to get a Switch.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
Is there
and
a way
like,
to emulate it?
Yes, like they've actually. I mean, if you're getting a 1080, like CEMU, the Wii U emulator, has just put out an update that has changed it from being CPU bound to GPU bound.
Okay.
Or for most of the big stuff. So they're saying, like, now it's getting to a point where it's relatively easy to, if you are okay with pirating it, play Breath of the Wild like 1080p, 30 frames a second. I think if you play 60 frames a second, it messes up some of the animations.
Okay.
Because it's not meant to run faster than 30.
Oh, is it
but they say you can do like 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 60. They say if you do 60, some of the animations like don't trigger properly.
Yeah.
A bit like if you try to play Dark Souls at 60 and like you can't climb ladders and weird shit like that. Like, I think a lot of the animations and systems are bound to the frame rate, but yeah, it's so fucking good. And like, yeah, the core of it, the Divine Beasts, I thought were really disappointing. And even with that, even in spite of its glaring flaws, I haven't really stopped thinking about it and just feeling nostalgic for that adventure in it's been 9 months since it came out, almost to the day.
So do you think it's worthy of the Game of the Year then? Because it sounds like it.
I don't fucking know if I've played anything. I've played a lot of really good games this year, and I don't think anything else has resonated with me for so long. Like Wolfenstein 2, incredible. Like, I thought there were bits of Wolfenstein 2 that I like. At least 4 different points in Wolfenstein 2, I had to pause it and like shout and get Katie to come into the room and explain it to her. And just be like, fucking see what this fucking video game's doing, because it's mental. And like, yeah, Super Mario Odyssey is impeccably crafted, and there's like this sense of joy to it. And I thought PUBG was really fun in a super silly way that, I don't know, just something about running around without any trousers on and hitting people with a frying pan and then just getting sniped across the map was amusing to me. But yeah, man, fucking Zelda is just so good.
What about
like,
Man, I really want to get
what about Cuphead? That's another title everyone's been talking about. At least I really want to play Cuphead, but I haven't played it yet. I think that would be right up your alley, wouldn't it, Jack? Because you're into those kind of.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, in terms of like that platformer, that gets me frustrated, but I'll keep at it.
Yeah,
sort of game, because I've seen
really
a lot
hard
of
platformers.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of footage from it, and I can just imagine myself getting really frustrated with it. So I mean, like, I think I saw it on like GOG Games. They were doing like, I think it was like £12 or something. They've knocked it down to. I think it might also be the same on Steam, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think it's in the Steam sale at the moment.
Yeah, so I might have to like have a look and maybe have a go at it. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think Nintendo have had a good year this year. They've put out that Mario game's great, and fucking. I've put a bunch of time into Yakuza 0, and that game's really funny. Like, I think sadly it's PS4 exclusive,
Right.
but that game is well worth your time if you are into. I don't know. I think if you're just into like well written games, because it's just really, really funny and it tells a really good story. I'm about 7 hours into Nier Automata, which I've heard gets pretty mad. I've already seen some I've already seen some shit in it that is really weird. So I'm kind of excited to see where that goes. But yeah, 2017 is fucking Zelda game, man. Holy shit. Like, I watched that video that the CEMU people put out to be like, oh, well, we've got this new update for it. Here's a clip of Zelda. And it was just him running around in one of the first towns you go to, Haterno Village. And he runs out of it and goes down this mountain path. And I immediately remembered the first time I went to that mountain path. And I got nostalgic for it. And I don't think I've ever played a game that has made me feel genuine nostalgia in the same year it's come out.
Yeah. So apparently you can play it in 4K on the emulator.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. I think it does go to 4K.
I think it's a Polygon article, I think, and it was just a video of the mountain pass or whatever you're talking about just now. That looks real cool.
You need a fucking beast of a PC to get it to go 4K, though, I think.
They were just using a 1070 in the article, as it turns out.
Really?
Yeah, 16 gigs. It's an i7 though, but yeah.
Shit, dude. Yeah. I don't know. Fucking play that Zelda game. Holy shit. That Zelda game's really good. That's my opinion of this year. Destiny 2, probably actually disappointing. Zelda, really fucking good.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. I think it would be interesting, to have heard Tom's thoughts on Destiny 2 in a more official manner.
I think we could do an entire show of Tom talking about Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to have some actual, well-formed opinions about it.
Yeah, especially because he's the only one who's really played Destiny 1, isn't he?
Yeah.
I've played it, but I've not played it anywhere near enough. I didn't play any of the endgame stuff. I played it a little bit when it first came out. But...
And he's, played Destiny 2 as well. Or Destiny 1 as well. He's, 2,000 hours or something?
Yeah, he played it basically non-stop since it came out until Destiny 2 came out.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of value out of that game.
Yeah, he really has, which is why, obviously a lot of people are concerned with... Well, not concerned. They take issue with the fact that, obviously, a lot of Destiny, you've got to pay for the more game, and you can't really play it once the new DLCs come out. But for some people, that's actually probably worth it. It's basically just like subscribing to a MMO or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, because I've seen people talk about it like that as well. They've replaced their MMO playing with just playing Destiny instead. And instead of paying this subscription, they're paying, £15 every 3 months?
Yeah. Because it is marketed as an MMO first-person shooter RPG. Now, seems to be lacking in some of those bits. Depending on which era of Destiny you're in, it's more or less some of those terms.
I firmly still believe that it was still an MMO.
There are some arguments to be made that it's not really a massively multiplayer online video game, and it's more just like a multiplayer video game.
Okay, so it's just a lot of dungeons that you play with other people together, and
you don't really play it with other people is the thing. You can play you can go in with a group of people, you can sort of have a fire team.
Yeah.
Other than your fire team, the other people in it are just kind of there. So there'll be public events which you do with other people, but then anything else you don't do with other people.
Right. Even when you're with the fire team.
When you're with a fire team, you
Okay.
do. When you're with a fire team, you can go into. So it sort of has those MMO elements, but it doesn't feel as
Okay.
MMO-y.
I got you.
It's not a perfect system, but it has some good bits in it. It feels good. Like, I think, as much as I can talk for a while about like how my confusing feelings about Destiny 2, it feels good to play. It feels good to shoot dudes in that game.
They've made a well-made game. They've just not really
Made a good game.
realised it. Yeah, I think that's a close way of describing it. It's well-made, but not good.
Mm. Anybody? So, like, I guess we'll do one last whip round, I guess, before we get to the end of this, which is anybody playing anything during the Christmas break?
I had to leave my Xbox at home,
Fair.
which has been sad.
You've been missing it, mate.
Yeah, man, I want to play Dawning.
Oh, dude. Want to get that
I
loot?
want to play some Mayhem Clash.
Yeah, that does sound pretty silly. Is
Yeah.
that in the Crucible?
Yeah, so it's literally just like normal Crash, but everybody's firing off Nova bombs or throwing out their shield or whatever.
Brilliant.
My brother loves it.
Brilliant. Oh, that sounds actually like it could be alright. As an Arc Strider with old the Raiden Flux armor, sounds like it could be alright.
Yeah, because like all the other sort of super abilities and like buffs from armor and stuff still apply. So if you've got something that means you regenerate faster anyway, you just regenerate in like 10 seconds instead. So
Because Raiden Flux is the one. It's like for Arc Striders, any damage you do as an Arc Strider extends the length of your super and the damage your super puts out. So if you trigger it in a mob, you will then just be supering for like a full fucking minute. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've seen people take out like tanks with just that because you just keep going.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It definitely made that class really fun to play. What about you, Jack? Because you're at home, aren't you? So you've got all of your sweet techno gear.
Yeah, I mean, I got Football Manager the other day. I'm going to be probably installing that later on today and giving that a go, trying to see if I can get my head around it and actually like continue playing a game. But apart from that, nah, like I said, I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles. Like I'm quite early on into that at the moment, so I'm just going to be probably continuing to play that. I got Mario Kart as well, so I've just been going around doing all of the Mario Kart tracks and trying to unlock all of the gear that I can in that game. But yeah, not a lot really.
Nice. So didn't your brother get a VR headset for Christmas?
Yeah, he got
Have you been
PSVR.
playing-
Like I was in there the other day watching him play on it, and it seems alright. I mean, I haven't been on it yet, but yeah, it seems okay. He didn't get the the controllers with it, the Move controllers. However, but he just got the headset.
Fair enough.
So yeah, like he's been playing that. He's been playing some Doom on it.
Oh, Doom VFR, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, and he's also been playing that Rigs game, where it's like NFL in like giant robots that you can shoot with.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I like that was my understanding from it, because I watched like the opening sequence to it when he was sat down playing it. And I was like, wait a minute, I thought this was just like basically like sort of Titanfall VR sort of thing, and it's not. It's actually like you have like, I'd say it's maybe like Capture the Flag, but with it's basically Capture the Flag in mechanized rigs, and you have like
Nice.
a time limit, and it's like you score with like a ball and stuff like that. I don't know.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Yeah, that sounds alright. I don't know. I could be into that. Robots are pretty cool. My feelings on Gundams are pretty clear. This sounds like Dead Gundams. You've been playing a
How
lot of
about you?
Netflix,
What have you
Chur.
been playing?
Hey?
You've been playing a lot of Netflix, Chur.
I've been playing-
Is that your
went
game of
through
Christmas?
At least a few shows. I think at least 2 shows, and completely just binged them through.
Anything good?
Sense8 on Netflix. That's really good.
So no, then.
That's really good. What?
Yeah.
They're very pro LGBT and all that stuff, and it's a really good story. It's a story about how they're all like a group of people that can communicate like telepathically across the globe, and they're called sensates. That's it, and it's just a story of following them through. That's really good.
Cool.
I did start playing Infamous. What's the one called? The
Second Son.
Second Son.
Yeah, that's the one. Second Sons. But
Because it was PlayStation Plus, wasn't it? It was a game with PlayStation
no,
Plus.
I just
recently.
got it for cheap off eBay. But
Oh, fair enough.
yeah,
It was definitely a PlayStation Plus game.
Yeah, because that's why I've got it. I think that's the only reason I've got it.
no, I literally just started it and didn't play much more. It was like 20 minutes, then I stopped playing it.
So, was it? Did it not catch you? Sure. Did you like the original Infamouses?
Yeah, I loved it. I played all of them.
Infamy.
But I don't think it captured me enough to play more than 20 minutes at the beginning.
Fair enough.
Oh, that's
I'll
sad.
probably get back to it though, because we got a new TV, like 4K HDR. So I would love to see what HDR gaming is all about.
Sweet.
It's not 4K,
Hey,
though, so
your mum sorts you out. She's got a good telly.
yeah, pretty much.
I've been looking at some possible deals for tellers. It's been pretty. Yeah.
I'll get that new, I think it was Samsung extra wide 5K TV.
5K?
Yeah, because it's extra wide, so there's more pixels.
Damn.
Sounds. How much does it cost?
I can't remember. Probably a lot.
But everything
yeah.
you watch and play on there would have just black bars at the side, right? Except PC games.
Nah. Exactly.
I-
Just use it for PC games.
How many graphics cards out there are capable of outputting a 5K signal at a reasonable frame rate?
Two 1080 Ti's.
Damn.
It'd just be the same as having, like, a wraparound screen, right? Like having two screens connected.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so yeah.
But also, I think the point of it being extra wide is that it is film sized.
Oh, so it's actually like the 1 to 1.3 or whatever the fuck ratio that films are.
Yeah,
Sweet.
That's kind of
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
I think anyway. I don't really know.
I don't know.
I just
Yeah,
saw
I was.
everything.
There's usually good sales on TVs in January because January is when they announce all
Yeah.
of the new TVs for the year at CES. So
Yeah.
if there's a reasonable deal on one of those LG OLEDs, I might get an LG OLED. So I'm hoping that January they come down a bit because they've been 1,500 quid for a while. Yeah, but they've been 1,600 quid since about July. But what I'm hoping is it gets a little bit lower because that's actually too much money, if I'm honest. But my current TV is fucking broken. It's got a big dark stain in the middle of it that you can't get rid of. So whenever there's like white on the screen, there's just this dark patch in the middle of it that looks really shitty.
No, that's nice.
So now I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to get a new TV because this TV is upsetting me because it's actually broken. And then I was like, well,
It's a good
Could
reason
get-
to update, I guess,
could
right?
get an OLED. And then not be able to play anything on it because I don't have anything that can output a 4K HDR signal.
Just save.
But I'll just have it.
Worth.
I'll just own it. It'll
Don't
be
buy
cool.
too expensive a TV, right? And get a PS4 Pro as well.
That's not a bad idea.
Thoughts?
But then, but my thought was kind of like, well, I've got a little bit of money at the moment, so I get a reasonable deal on this OLED, which is literally the best TV you can buy at the moment. That's not some outrageous fucking TV you can roll up in a tube that's 100 inches wide and 8K fucking nonsense. Then I probably wouldn't actually have to buy a TV for quite a while.
Yeah. They do last
I
a
don't
while, TVs. As long as you don't do
Yeah,
anything silly to them.
I didn't really want to have to upgrade, but like I said, this TV is just literally broken now, which is annoying. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Yeah, it's not entirely important. It's me just kind of binging about my broken TV. It's not really the best podcast material, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to start to call it when we just start complaining about
Yeah, I don't know.
our broken media.
Shaw's got a 4K TV now. I can't believe that.
It's really
What
good.
TV is
it's
it?
worth it. It's a Sony 930.
Oh shit! One of those Sony ones. Yeah, they're cool.
It's got that slim Backdrive Plus or whatever. It's basically like a LED with like local dimming. So it's
nice.
almost like OLED, but it's not there. But it's much.
Have you got anything? Have you got any like 4K gear to play on it? Like
just
fucking Planet
Netflix
Earth 2.
and Amazon Prime. I think that's it. The 4K content's really nice looking.
Yeah, I bet.
HDR is okay. I think there's not that many content out there with HDR, so but it's just really bright and nice colors. That's about it.
I don't think they encode a lot of like TV stuff with HDR, like films and things. Does that get encoded with HDR very often?
Yeah.
I only ever hear it talked about in terms of video games. I never hear anyone talking about like HDR looking good on films and shit.
Oh, I've only heard of HDR being talked about with TV shows and movies.
Oh, fair enough.
Not games.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Well, there we go then. Obviously, it's good on both. And also, we move in different circles. Clearly. All right then. I think we can call that a Christmas episode.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, all none of you.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right, mate. We've been saying Merry Christmas the whole way through.
Yeah. It's the Christmas episode.
We've made it only relevant at one point of the year anyway.
To be fair, we talk about the entire year at least.
And a few years prior.
So we've dated it to 2017 and 2010 and 2014 and 2015 and 2016.
Yeah.
No one
And
told-
2007, there was some Rayman in there.
And you were speaking Infamous Second Son, I believe, was a 2013 game. Because it was a launch game with the PlayStation 4.
We're a non-discriminatory...
Apart from 2011 and
Podcast.
2012, fuck those years.
Those years suck.
Wait, no. Dishonored.
I do quite like
Dishonored
Reach.
1, Game of the Year, 2012.
Yeah, oh yeah. Reach came out that year as well, didn't it? 2012?
Yes.
think so.
Maybe 11.
Yeah, well, one of those years that we hate. I actually quite like both those years.
I think.
Dishonored came out in
alright.
2012.
We literally just said Dishonored.
Okay.
That is in fact the reason I said Dishonored Game of the Year 2012.
Diablo 3?
It's nice to see that you pay attention to
No,
us.
I just didn't hear. I think one of you said it really quickly. It just sounded like something else entirely.
Canned Tuna Simulator of the Year 2012.
It's all I eat now. Fish.
Just fish. It's the all murder, all fish run. It gives you the worst ending. Alright then, guys. I have been Mark, and I've been here with Dylan and Jack and Shaw. And we're going to say goodbye. Bye.